Our stories start from when one empire dominated the ancient world, wielding power and influence like no other before it. The Akkadian Empire, born from the vision of a single man, transformed the landscape of Mesopotamia with its innovative rule and unrivaled strength. But this towering colossus, seemingly invincible, was not immune to the forces of nature and human folly. As its grand ambitions reached their zenith, cracks began to appear in its once impenetrable facade. What unforeseen challenges and treacherous forces conspired to topple this mighty empire? How did an age of glory unravel into a tale of downfall and chaos? Join us as we delve into the gripping saga of the Akkadian Empire, uncovering the hidden causes and dramatic twists that led to its spectacular collapse. To understand the rise of the Akkadian Empire, we first need to look at Mesopotamia before its emergence. Around 3000 BCE, this region, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was characterized by a mosaic of independent city-states, each thriving under its own ruler and patron deity. These cities, such as Uruk and Lagash, were not just centers of culture and religion, but also fiercely competitive economic and political entities. For example, boasted advanced urban infrastructure, including massive temples and complex administrative systems, reflecting its prosperity and the central role of religion in daily life. Uruk, considered one of the world's first major urban centers, was pivotal in the development of cuneiform writing, which was initially used for record-keeping and eventually evolved into a tool for administration and literature. Lagash, under rulers like Gudea, was renowned for its monumental architecture and detailed art, which not only demonstrated their artistic achievements, but also served to legitimize the ruler's divine right to govern. This environment of intense competition and rivalry, combined with their innovative advancements in writing, agriculture, and trade, laid the groundwork for the emergence of a new power that would eventually unify these disparate city-states into the Akkadian Empire. Despite their remarkable achievements, these city-states were frequently embroiled in conflicts that undermined their stability. The competitive nature of these city-states led to constant skirmishes over fertile land, water resources, and trade routes, which were crucial for their economic survival and expansion. As each city-state sought to dominate its neighbors, these battles became more intense and destructive, depleting resources and exacerbating tensions. The constant warfare not only hindered economic development, but also strained administrative capacities and led to widespread insecurity among the populace. This relentless state of conflict highlighted the inefficiencies of a fragmented political landscape and the increasing need for a more centralized and cohesive governance system. The persistent instability and the failure of individual city-states to form lasting alliances or effective coalitions created a vacuum ripe for a new power to emerge. This emerging force would need to unify the diverse and often warring factions, establishing a centralized authority capable of bringing stability and coordination to the region. Thus, the stage was set for a transformative power to rise, one with the vision and strength to consolidate these disparate entities into a singular, unified entity that could reshape the political and cultural landscape of ancient Mesopotamia. Enter Sargon of Akkad, a visionary leader whose rise to prominence would profoundly reshape ancient Mesopotamia. Born Sharu Kin around 2334 BCE in the city of Kish, Sargon's early life was marked by his role as a humble cupbearer to the king, a position that, while seemingly menial, provided him with an insider's view of the intricacies of court life and governance. His duties involved not only serving drinks, but also attending to the political affairs and personal confidences of the king. This unique vantage point enabled Sargon to observe the weaknesses and conflicts within the ruling elite, laying the groundwork for his later ambition. Sargon's ascent to power was both audacious and unconventional. Amidst a backdrop of political instability and internal strife within Kish and neighboring city-states, Sargon seized an opportunity for a dramatic coup. His rise from a mere servant to a ruler was not merely an act of ambition, but a calculated response to the widespread dissatisfaction with the existing order. Sargon capitalized on the region's fragmented political landscape, marked by frequent wars over fertile land, trade routes, and water resources, which had left the city-states weakened and disjointed. Upon usurping the throne of Kish, Sargon embarked on a remarkable campaign to consolidate his power. He didn't merely replace the old regime, but sought to overhaul the entire political structure. Sargon established a centralized administration, introducing a standardized system of governance that included uniform weights and measures to facilitate trade and economic stability across his territories. This reform was crucial in unifying the diverse regions under his control, creating a cohesive economic and political entity out of the previously fragmented city-states. Sargon's approach to governance was characterized by a blend of military might and administrative innovation. His military campaigns were both strategic and systematic. He expanded his empire through a series of meticulously planned conquests, which included subduing rival city-states and forging alliances with influential leaders. Sargon's ability to integrate conquered regions and incorporate their elites into his administration helped maintain stability and loyalty within his expanding empire. His creation of a professional, standing army was pivotal, enabling him to project power beyond Kish and secure his rule over distant territories. The impact of Sargon's reign extended beyond mere territorial expansion. His establishment of Akkadian as the lingua franca of Mesopotamia facilitated communication and cultural exchange across the empire. This linguistic unity was instrumental in the dissemination of Akkadian culture and administrative practices. Sargon's policies laid the groundwork for future Mesopotamian empires, influencing the development of governance, trade, and military organization. Sargon's legacy was not merely one of military conquest, but of transformative leadership. His ability to unify a fractured region into a powerful empire marked a turning point in ancient history. The Akkadian Empire, under Sargon's rule, became a model of centralized power and administrative efficiency, setting a precedent for subsequent empires in Mesopotamia and beyond. Sargon's rise was not just a historical anomaly, but a profound shift that reshaped the political, cultural, and economic landscape of the ancient Near East. Sargon's military brilliance and strategic acumen were pivotal in the transformation of the Akkadian Empire from a nascent power to a dominant force across Mesopotamia and beyond. His conquest strategy was marked by meticulous planning and ruthless execution, with a keen focus on both military and political objectives. Sargon's initial campaigns targeted the powerful Sumerian city-states of Uruk and Lagash, which were prominent but fragmented entities that had long been in conflict with each other. By defeating these formidable rivals, Sargon not only asserted Akkadian dominance, but also effectively dismantled the entrenched political structures that had previously fragmented the region. His victory over Lagash, for example, was a significant turning point, as it showcased his ability to overcome entrenched city-state leaders and incorporate their territories into his growing empire. Following his consolidation of Sumerian cities, Sargon embarked on a series of ambitious campaigns beyond Mesopotamia. His military expeditions into the Levant and Anatolia were particularly significant, as they extended Akkadian influence into areas that were strategically important and rich in resources. In the Levant, Sargon's conquest secured vital trade routes and established new trading partnerships, which facilitated the flow of goods and wealth between Mesopotamia and distant regions. Similarly, his incursions into Anatolia, a region known for its mineral resources, allowed the Akkadian Empire to access valuable materials that were crucial for economic and military strength. Sargon's expansionist policies were not merely about territorial acquisition, they were aimed at creating a unified and interconnected empire. By establishing a network of trade routes that linked Mesopotamia with distant lands, Sargon integrated various cultural and economic practices into the Akkadian sphere of influence. This network facilitated the exchange of goods such as precious metals, textiles, and agricultural products, which enriched the Akkadian economy and fostered cultural and technological exchanges. The establishment of these trade routes also played a crucial role in promoting the spread of Akkadian culture and administrative practices throughout the empire, further solidifying Sargon's legacy. Moreover, Sargon's ability to maintain control over such a vast and diverse empire was supported by his innovative administrative strategies. He appointed loyal Akkadian governors and administrators to oversee the newly conquered territories, ensuring that they remained under central control while respecting local traditions and practices. This administrative efficiency, combined with his military successes, helped to stabilize and integrate the empire, laying the foundation for its enduring influence in ancient Near Eastern history. Sargon's reign, characterized by both his military conquests and administrative reforms, established a model for future empires in the region, demonstrating the impact of effective leadership and strategic foresight in the creation of a powerful and lasting empire. Under Sargon's leadership, the Akkadian Empire underwent a remarkable transformation in governance and administration, setting new standards for centralized rule. Sargon's creation of a system of provinces marked a significant shift from the previous fragmented city-state governance. By dividing the empire into manageable provinces, each governed by a loyal Akkadian official, Sargon ensured more direct control and greater administrative efficiency. These governors were not only responsible for maintaining order, but also for implementing Akkadian policies and collecting tribute, thus reinforcing the central authority and integrating diverse regions under a unified administration. Sargon's administrative innovations extended to economic regulation, with the standardization of weights and measures being a particularly notable achievement. This standardization facilitated trade by ensuring consistency and fairness in commercial transactions across the vast empire, which was essential for maintaining economic stability and fostering economic growth. By establishing uniform standards, Sargon helped to eliminate discrepancies and disputes in trade practices, thereby promoting economic integration and prosperity throughout his empire. In addition to these innovations, Sargon's legal reforms laid the foundation for future legal systems in Mesopotamia. Although his code of laws was not as comprehensive or detailed as those that would follow, such as the famous Code of Hammurabi, it was instrumental in establishing a legal framework that emphasized the importance of justice and order. Sargon's legal code introduced the concept of centralized legal authority and provided a model for subsequent rulers to develop more elaborate legal systems. This early legal structure contributed to the stability and cohesion of the Akkadian Empire by setting precedents for how laws were applied and enforced. Overall, Sargon's governance reforms were pivotal in shaping the Akkadian Empire into a coherent and powerful entity. His centralization of power, economic regulation, and legal innovations not only strengthened the empire's internal structure, but also influenced future administrative practices in the region. Through these measures, Sargon established a legacy of effective and innovative governance that would serve as a model for later empires in Mesopotamia and beyond. Sargon's legacy was profoundly extended by his descendants, with his grandson Naram-Sin emerging as a particularly influential figure in the Akkadian Empire. Naram-Sin's reign marked a pivotal chapter in the empire's history. Building on his grandfather's formidable conquests and administrative reforms, Naram-Sin not only solidified Akkadian control but aggressively expanded the empire's territories. His military campaigns were extensive, pushing the boundaries of the empire into new and often hostile regions. This expansion included successful campaigns in the mountainous regions to the north and west, where he subdued resistant tribes and incorporated their territories into the Akkadian domain. His ability to conquer and integrate these regions was a testament to his strategic brilliance and military prowess, as he employed a combination of direct military engagement and diplomatic maneuvers to secure Akkadian dominance. A defining feature of Naram-Sin's rule was his ambitious claim of divine kingship, a significant departure from the more traditional view of kingship in Mesopotamia. By declaring himself a god, Naram-Sin sought to elevate the role of the king to a level of sacred authority that was unprecedented. This divine status was not merely symbolic. It was intended to confer an aura of invincibility and divine right upon his reign, which was crucial for maintaining control over such a vast and diverse empire. He presented himself as the representative of the gods on earth, a living deity whose edicts and decisions were considered divinely inspired. This claim was supported by various inscriptions and monuments that depicted him in divine or semi-divine forms, often alongside deities, which reinforced his elevated status and the idea that his rule was sanctioned by the gods. Under Naram-Sin, the Akkadian Empire experienced a period of remarkable prosperity and cultural flourishing. His reign was characterized by extensive and grandiose building projects that showcased the empire's wealth and his own power. Major construction projects included the expansion and fortification of cities, the construction of massive temples dedicated to both Akkadian gods and his own deified self, and the development of sophisticated infrastructure like roads and irrigation systems. These projects not only served practical purposes, such as improving trade and agricultural productivity, but also acted as symbols of the empire's grandeur and the king's divine favor. The architectural innovations of this period reflected the empire's economic strength and its ability to mobilize resources on an unprecedented scale. Naram-Sin's reign is often seen as the zenith of Akkadian power, characterized by a unique blend of military might, religious innovation, and monumental architecture. His ability to integrate these elements effectively resulted in a period of stability and prosperity for the empire. The legacy of Naram-Sin's rule was a powerful testament to the potential of the Akkadian Empire, highlighting the impact of strong leadership and visionary governance on the ancient world. His reign left an indelible mark on Mesopotamian history, setting a high bar for subsequent rulers and influencing the region's political and cultural landscape long after his death. Despite its early successes, the Akkadian Empire eventually succumbed to a series of severe challenges that led to its downfall. Internally, the empire faced mounting unrest as the initially effective system of centralized control began to unravel. The diverse and formerly independent city-states, once unified under Sargon's rule, began to experience increasing friction. Local rulers and regional leaders, who had previously been subdued, started to resist the centralized authority as their own power and influence grew. This growing discontent was marked by frequent uprisings and the formation of rival factions, which eroded the unity and stability of the empire. Externally, the Akkadian Empire was subjected to relentless pressure from neighboring peoples. The Gushans, a semi-nomadic group from the Zagros Mountains, were particularly instrumental in destabilizing the empire. Their invasions were not merely opportunistic raids, but concerted campaigns that exploited the weakened state of Akkadian defenses. The Gushans' incursions disrupted trade routes, which were crucial for the empire's economic stability, and caused widespread destruction in the northern and central regions of Mesopotamia. Their relentless attacks further strained the already overstretched Akkadian military and administrative resources. Additionally, the Akkadian Empire was hit hard by a series of prolonged and severe droughts. These environmental crises led to catastrophic agricultural failures, which in turn caused widespread famine and food shortages. The collapse of agricultural productivity had a ripple effect throughout the empire's economy, leading to increased poverty, social unrest, and a breakdown in the social fabric. The famine exacerbated the internal dissent as people grew increasingly frustrated with the government's inability to provide relief or effectively manage the crisis. The combination of internal fragmentation, external invasions, and environmental disasters created a multifaceted crisis that the Akkadian administration was ill-equipped to handle. The central government's authority diminished as local rulers and external invaders took advantage of the situation. The Akkadian Empire's once unified and efficient administrative system became a shadow of its former self, unable to respond effectively to the mounting pressures. This perfect storm of internal division, external aggression, and environmental hardship ultimately led to the collapse of the Akkadian Empire, marking the end of one of the first great empires in Mesopotamian history. By around 2154 BCE, the Akkadian Empire, once a monumental symbol of centralized power and innovation in ancient Mesopotamia, was nearing its dramatic end. The Akkadian Empire, under Sargon's visionary rule, had created an extensive realm that stretched from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean, with its heartland in central Mesopotamia. This empire, however, faced severe challenges that ultimately led to its downfall. The most significant of these challenges came from the Gutians, a formidable nomadic group from the Zagros Mountains to the east. The Gutians began their incursions into Akkadian territory during a period of growing internal instability and weakening central authority. Their initial raids exploited the empire's already strained resources and vulnerable borders, gradually escalating into full-scale invasions. The Gutians, characterized by their military prowess and resilience, were able to capitalize on the Akkadian Empire's internal troubles. As the Gutian attacks intensified, the Akkadian Empire struggled to maintain its vast territories. The centralized administration, which had once efficiently managed the empire's complex bureaucracy and trade networks, began to falter under the strain. The Akkadian rulers faced not only external threats, but also severe internal strife, including revolts and power struggles among local governors and city-state leaders. The Akkadian rulers faced not only external threats, but also severe internal strife, including revolts and power struggles among local governors and city-state leaders. This internal fragmentation weakened the empire's ability to respond effectively to the Gutian incursions and maintain its control over the conquered regions. The combination of external pressures and internal discord led to a catastrophic decline. The Gutians managed to breach the Akkadian heartland and seize key cities, including Akkad itself, the empire's capital. Their conquest led to widespread devastation, including the destruction of cities, temples, and administrative centers that had been the lifeblood of Akkadian power. The administrative and economic systems, which had once facilitated trade and stability across the empire, were dismantled, leading to a breakdown in governance and infrastructure. As Akkadian control waned, the once unified empire fragmented into a collection of smaller, competing city-states. This fragmentation mirrored the pre-Akkadian period of Mesopotamian history, where regional city-states, each with its own ruler, had engaged in constant rivalry. The fall of the Akkadian Empire thus marked a return to this earlier, more fragmented political landscape. The transition was marked by a period of chaos and instability, as the smaller city-states struggled to assert their dominance and fill the power vacuum left by the Akkadian collapse. This fragmentation underscored the temporary nature of the Akkadian Empire's dominance and set the stage for a new era in Mesopotamian history, characterized by renewed local competition and the eventual rise of new powers. Despite the eventual fall of the Akkadian Empire around 2154 BCE, its legacy left an indelible mark on Mesopotamian history. The Akkadians were instrumental in pioneering the concept of a centralized state, a significant shift from the fragmented city-state model that had characterized the region before their rise. This centralization was not merely a political achievement, but also involved sophisticated administrative practices that laid the groundwork for future governance. The Akkadians established a system of provinces, each governed by appointed officials, which streamlined administration and facilitated the collection of taxes and management of resources. This organizational innovation set a precedent for subsequent Mesopotamian empires. Moreover, the Akkadian Empire was a melting pot of cultures, integrating various Sumerian and Semitic traditions into a cohesive cultural framework. This cultural integration was evident in the Akkadian language, which became a lingua franca across the region and influenced later languages and literature. The Akkadian script, derived from earlier Sumerian cuneiform, was adapted and modified, becoming a critical tool for administration and record-keeping in future civilizations. The achievements and administrative practices of the Akkadian Empire significantly influenced its successors, particularly the Babylonians and Assyrians. The Babylonians, under rulers like Hammurabi, adopted and expanded upon the administrative and legal systems established by the Akkadians, including aspects of centralized governance and legal codes. The Assyrians, known for their military prowess and administrative efficiency, also drew on Akkadian innovations to consolidate their own empire. Thus, the legacy of the Akkadian Empire endured far beyond its fall, shaping the political, administrative, and cultural trajectories of Mesopotamia for centuries to come. The rise and fall of the Akkadian Empire is a captivating saga marked by ambition, innovation, and significant challenges. Sargon of Akkad's meteoric rise from a humble cupbearer to the founder of one of the world's first empires exemplifies the extraordinary potential of visionary leadership combined with military prowess. His conquest, which united the fragmented city-states of Mesopotamia into a cohesive empire, set new standards in administrative and bureaucratic efficiency. The Akkadian Empire's centralized governance and standardized practices not only facilitated effective rule over a vast territory, but also fostered a cultural and linguistic unity that had lasting repercussions. Yet despite these remarkable achievements, the empire's downfall highlights the vulnerabilities inherent in such a grandiose endeavor. Internal discord, external pressures from the Gushans, and environmental challenges like droughts and famines gradually eroded the empire's stability. This decline underscores the complex dynamics of maintaining an extensive empire amidst shifting geopolitical and environmental conditions. The Akkadian Empire's story offers profound lessons on the balance of power, the integration of diverse cultures, and the management of vast territories, illustrating how both its innovative successes and eventual failures shaped the trajectory of Mesopotamian history and influenced subsequent civilizations. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the rise and fall of the Akkadian Empire. We hope this deep dive into the legacy of Sargon of Akkad and his successors has provided you with a richer understanding of one of history's most pivotal civilizations. The Akkadian Empire's groundbreaking innovations in administration and culture, alongside its dramatic challenges, offer a compelling narrative that continues to resonate with modern audiences. As we conclude our exploration, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on more captivating historical content. Share your insights, questions, or suggestions for future topics in the comments below, and help us uncover more stories from our past.